Welcome to this YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you 3 use cases of the if function. Let's jump into it. I'm going to first introduce the cases, then I'll take you through one by one. In the meantime, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to see more videos like this one. So the first use case is a case of categorization. I have sales for months January to December, and I want to categorize them using the criteria here based on high and low. If our sales are greater than or equal to 70K, I want them categorized as high, and all other sales less than 70K, I want them categorized as low. So we're going to use the if function. We say if, and the first argument is the logical test. The logical test is about testing 2 values, and it returns true if the test is true, or it returns false if the test is false. So what are we testing? We are testing whether the value in C3 is greater or equal to 70K. And if at all it is greater or equal to 70K, our criteria is saying that we categorize it as high. Otherwise, we categorize it as low. We close our brackets and press enter. There is an autofill suggestion, which I'm going to say okay, and it will copy my formula down. To check whether we have got it right, let's check 56 is less than 70K, and therefore it categorizes it as low. Let's see the high. 596 is greater than 70K, therefore it has been categorized as high. So I think it has got it right. You can test it by saying, okay, let me give it exactly the 70K, and there you go. It changes this one to high. Let's go to the next use case. In the first use case, I had 2 categories. In the second use case, I have 3 categories. And these 3 categories are, if it is less than 30K, I give it low. If it is between 30K and 70K, I give it medium. And if it is greater or equal to 70K, I categorize it as high. So let's see how we can go about this. There are 2 ways of doing it. We can start from the lower to high, or from high to low. I'll show you both cases. So all I'm gonna do, equal sign, say if function. If I start from the lower one, I'll say if this value is lower than 30K, like so. So this one is covered. And if that is the case, what do I want? I want it to be categorized as low. So in quotes, I type low, comma. Now this one is all covered. And when it is doing the test, it tests from left to right. So we have tested all values. We have tested that everything is less than 70K, 30K, sorry. So the next level we are going to is this one here. So if we have covered everything less than 30K, if I test less than 70K, I'll be testing between 30 and 70, because this one, anything less than 30K will be taken care of in this test. So my next test should be less than 70 because this one is already covered. So it means that the next one will be between 30K and 70K. So I'll put another if function and I say comma, and now I'm using the upper limit. I'm testing again. The value here is less than 70K, like so, comma, what do I want? I want it to be categorized as medium, then, comma, so it means that anything else that remains, if we have covered less than 30K, we have covered 30 and 70K, so anything else that remains should be categorized as high. Remember, our function moves from left to right, so it will look for anything less than 30K, gives it low, then goes, because now it has finished the low. So if I say less than 70K, it means I'll be checking between greater or equal to 70K and 70K, greater or equal to 30K and 70K. Then if that one is true, it will give it medium, and anything else that remains will be categorized high. So I close my brackets for the first inner if function, then I close my brackets for the outer if function, hit enter, auto suggestion comes into play. I say, okay, and I'll check whether I've got it right. 24,678 is less than 30K, and therefore it is low. That is correct. 56,523 is between 30K and 70K, and therefore it should be medium and correctly so. And lastly, 956 is greater than 70K, and therefore it is categorized as high. So this is how we do it if I start from the low to the high. But I can also start from the high. So if I'm starting from high, I'll say if the sales value is greater or equal to 70K, what do I want? I want it to be high, in quotes, I say high, comma, I put another if function. Now I'm going to, it has covered everything above 70K. I need to cover the next up lower limit. So I'm saying the cells here being greater or equal to 30,000. And if it is right, I categorize it as medium, medium, like so in quotes. And if it is anything else apart from high and medium, will be categorized as low. I close the inside if function. I close the outside if function. Hit enter. Autofill comes into place. I say okay, and we get the result, which is exactly the same as in the first case when we started with the lower limit. The next example brings in another complication in that what happens here, I want to first get the category. After getting the category, I don't want the category returned, but what I want is the commission, and the commission will be based on the category that we have given it. If the category is high, the commission will be 5%. If the category is medium, meaning the sale is between 30K and 70K, the commission will be 2% of the sales. And for the lower one, it will be 1% of the sales. So let's see how we do that. I'm going to start with the lower limit. I say if function, this value is less than 30,000. If that is the case, this time I don't want to categorize it as low. However, I want to calculate the commission, which is 1% times the value of the cell. So my commission rate is in cell H3. Because I'm going to copy my formula down, not to be distorted, I need to lock that. Then I'm going to say 1% times my cells. My cells are under cell C3. So that gives me the commission for all cells less than 30K. Then I need to move forward and say, find the next category. The next category will be less than 70K. So if my cells, which are in C3, are less than 70K, comma, I don't want to categorize it as medium, but I want to compute the cells, and it will be the cells in cell H2. I'm going to copy my formula down, so I need to lock it with function F4. And I want to compute, use this red, compute the cells. So it will be this 2% times the cells in C3, comma, anything else. I'll apply the sales rate of 5%, which is in H1. So I'll lock H1, then multiply that by the cells in cell C3, close the bracket for the inner if function, close the bracket for the outer if function, hit enter, autofill comes into help. I say, okay. So when I do that, it computes the sales commission based on the how it is categorized. To check whether our answer is right, 95,596 is our sales. And where does it fall? It falls in the upper limit. So I'll apply a 5% times my cells, enter. I don't want to use the autofill, and you can see I get the same result. Check for a lower one. This one is lower than 30%, 30,000. I'll multiply that by 1% times my cells. I get the same result as my if function. Hope this has been helpful, and it demonstrates the use cases of the if function. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, like the video if you have liked it, and give me the comments if you have any. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.